thank you for convening this urgent meeting. With France, Indonesia requested this meeting as a testament of Indonesia's long-standing commitment and continued contribution to peacekeeping operations since 1957. I also thank the briefers, USG Lacroix, ISG Harry, and USG Fletcher. I should also like to thank you, Madam President, for giving me the floor to express the sense of grief, anger, and frustration of over 285 million people of Indonesia. I am sure that this sense of grief, anger, and frustration is widely shared by the people of the world. I am heartened by the pouring of expression of condolences, support, and solidarity from the members of this Council and the wider international community. Let me begin by honoring the memory of the fallen soldiers of peace by calling their names in this august chamber. Zulmi Aditya Iskandar, Major, Infantry, 33 years young. Muhammad Nur Ikhwan, First Sergeant, 25 years young. Fahrizal Ramadan, Corporal, 27 years young. Corporal Fahrizal lost his life serving his duty in our post in Ashid Al-Quzair. Major Zulmi and First Sergeant Muhammad lost their lives in the attack to their convoy, providing logistical supports in Bani Hayyan. We cannot accept these killings of peacekeepers. This is a grave loss to Indonesia. This is also a grave loss to all of us, to the United Nations, to this Council, and to every community that looks to peacekeepers as symbols of hope and peace. Further, the attacks injured 5 other peacekeepers: Captain Sultan Wiryan Maulana, Corporal Riko Pramudia, Corporal Arif Kurniawan, Corporal Bayu Prakoso, Cadet Private Denny Rianto. These peacekeepers fell and wounded while carrying out a mandate entrusted to them by this very Council. Indonesia condemns in the strongest terms these heinous attacks against those peacekeepers serving with the UNIFIL on the 29th and 30th of March 2026. Indonesia urges all relevant actors to ensure the prompt, safe, and dignified repatriation of the remains of the 3 deceased personnel and request the best possible medical treatment and comprehensive care for the 5 injured peacekeepers to ensure their full and swift recovery. Madam President, some detractors have argued that the fallen soldiers were positioned in a zone of active war. But this framing overlooks a fundamental question: who is responsible for creating and sustaining that zone of active hostilities? The current escalation did not arise in vacuum. It stems from repeated incursions by the Israeli military into the territory of Lebanon. Indonesia strongly condemns Israeli attacks in southern Lebanon, which constitute a serious violation against the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Lebanon. Indonesia continues to stand in solidarity with the government and the people of Lebanon. As hostilities in southern Lebanon escalates, attacks against UNIFIL peacekeepers have also increased in recent weeks. These repeated attacks are not mere incidents, but deliberate assaults aimed at undermining the UNIFIL and deterring its ability to fulfill the mandate of Resolution 1701. These attacks also represent a direct threat to international peace and security and may constitute war crimes under international law. We therefore demand an immediate, thorough, and transparent investigation. Let me be clear. We demand investigation by the United Nations, not excuses from Israel. We demand the Security Council to keep abreast of the investigation and to immediately follow up the results. We demand that the perpetrators must be held legally accountable. Immunity must not become the standard, and attacks against peacekeepers must not be repeated nor tolerated. We also demand a firm guarantee from all parties involved, including Israel, to uphold their obligations under international law, to immediately cease attacks and aggressive behavior that endanger UN personnel and property, and to refrain from any action that further escalates the hostilities. Madam President, the safety and security of peacekeepers must remain and continue to be our utmost priority. Amid escalating hostilities, the Council and the Secretary General must immediately implement emergency measures to ensure the full protection of UNIFIL personnel and assets. This includes review of security arrangement protocols and activation of contingency and evacuation plans commensurate to the developments on the ground. We must leverage all political and diplomatic means to de-escalate the situation. The Security Council must reaffirm the foundational principles that guarantee the safety and security of UN peacekeepers. It is imperative for the Council and the wider international community to take immediate and decisive action to protect those who protect peace. We make these demands in deep reverence for our fallen peacekeepers, to whom Indonesia pays its highest respect for their ultimate sacrifice in the service of international peace and security. To this end, Indonesia remains committed to contribute to the maintenance of peace and security as our constitutional mandate. Now, we demand the Security Council to act and deliver. Today, the Security Council must speak up with a clear, strong, and unified voice to condemn the attacks against peacekeeping personnel. Today, the Security Council must reaffirm the obligations of all parties to ensure and guarantee the safety and security of peacekeepers. Today, the Security Council must take decisive action to prevent future hostilities and attacks against peacekeepers. No more attacks. Thank you.
I thank the representative of Indonesia for the statement. I now give the floor to the representative of Poland.
Madam President, let me thank you for convening this important meeting upon the request of France and Indonesia. I would also like to thank the briefers for the comprehensive information on the situation on the ground. Madam President, Poland is deeply concerned by the increasing instability in Lebanon, which directly affects the safety of the civilian population as well as the UNIFIL personnel. As the result of recent attacks, 3 Indonesian peacekeepers have lost their lives, while others were injured, including a soldier from the Polish contingent. We extend our deepest condolences to Indonesia and the close ones of the fallen peacekeepers and wish the injured a swift recovery. Poland strongly condemns these incidents. Ensuring safety of peacekeepers must be a top priority for all parties involved. We expect the ongoing investigation to conclusively determine all the circumstances of these tragic developments. Madam President, we wish to point to the increasingly difficult situation of UNIFIL, marked by growing security threats, reduction of the operations capabilities due to the 15% cuts, and the lack of a clear plan for the termination of the mandated activities. These elements create uncertainty regarding UNIFIL's mode of operation in the future. We therefore call for development of clear operational guidelines for the implementation of Resolution 2790, enabling troop-contributing countries to align their planning while ensuring both the continued implementation of the mandate and the safety of soldiers remaining in Lebanon. Madam President, in a broader context, we call on all parties to refrain from any actions that would further escalate the situation and to return to the implementation of the ceasefire agreement, which was negotiated by the United States and France in November 2024, and to ensure the full implementation of the provisions of Resolution 9001. We are deeply concerned about the humanitarian situation of the civilian population. In response, Poland has delivered the first batch of humanitarian aid to Lebanon. Additionally, answering humanitarian appeals, we have made voluntary contributions to International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement. Further aid programs are currently being prepared. Madam President, we call on all parties to urgently return to the ceasefire agreement and to fully respect Security Council Resolution 1701. Poland reaffirms its strong support for the mandate of UNIFIL in the southern Lebanon, and we commend the courage, professionalism and steadfast commitment of UNIFIL peacekeepers in the fulfillment of their mandate. And I thank you.
I thank the representative of Poland for the statement. And now the representative of France has asked for the floor to make a further statement. I give them the floor.
Merci Madame la Présidente. Je serai extrêmement rapide à la suite des propos de notre collègue israélien. Je ne me livrerai pas à une comparaison des déclarations de la France concernant Israël et l'Iran, tout simplement parce qu'il ne me viendrait pas à l'esprit de comparer la nature des relations entre la France et Israël d'une part, la France et l'Iran d'autre part. Notre seul propos, c'est la volonté de désescalade, la volonté que soit respectée l'intégrité territoriale et la souveraineté du Liban par tous, et nous rappelons toujours la responsabilité écrasante de l'Iran et du Hezbollah dans le déclenchement de toutes ces opérations. Je vous remercie.
All right. I thank the representative of France for the statement. There are no more names inscribed on the list of speakers. However, before adjourning this meeting, I would like to warmly thank the Secretariat of the Council for all the support they have given us this month. And I thank all the members of the Council for joining us in this bit of history and for lending us your support, and to the variety of voices from this seat, from the First Lady of the United States, to Ambassador Waltz, to myself, and to all the other ambassadors from USUN. As I gavel the presidency closed, as I speak also on behalf of everyone here at our mission, in wishing the delegation of Bahrain good luck for the month of April, but we know luck favors the prepared, so you're going to do very well. My thanks to everyone from the mission, and have a great day. Thank you, everyone.